Hello, 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 my fellow bonnet heads. Welcome this is a very, very special year-end wrap-up of Little House on the Prairie 50th anniversary podcast. It is 2026. Bananas. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm your host, Pamela Bob. That's right, creator and star of Living on a Prairie. And, I am still pinching myself that this podcast is still going strong. We've had 1 million downloads. We've had such a banger of a year this year with the podcast and beyond. And I'm just so grateful to be here. So thank you, everybody. Can you believe we made it through 2025? Bonkers year. But, it's also been pretty legendary for our Little House family. That's right. Just ending the year, we had this incredible live show in New York City that we were planning for months and months and months. I mean, I have been asking to do a live show for well over a year now. So the fact that it happened and it was so successful and it was so much fun was just so satisfying to all of us. And we're definitely planning on doing more. So hopefully we'll be coming to a city near you in this upcoming year. And so we had our live show in New York City. We just had this amazing cast reunion in Simi Valley where we celebrated almost 52 years, my goodness, of Walnut Grove in the best possible way. I spent 3 days from morning till evening in this beautiful little church interviewing all of these incredible cast members from Little House on the Prairie. And the conversations were so rich and so fun. And I wanted to definitely make sure I talked about things that we haven't all heard over and over and over again. So the conversations were really different. And, shout out to my VIP peeps that were in the room for me. We totally bonded over this. But all of this is going to be the New York City event, and all of the interviews from the Simi Valley event are going to be up on Patreon. Stay tuned. We haven't announced it yet. We will let you know when that's all happening, but that is going to be happening very soon. But today, I'm here solo. I'm not here with the hashtag imaginary boyfriend and our, Prairie bitch, Dean and Allison, because they're taking it easy. I'm working today. Today, we're just going to look back on the Little House on the Prairie 50th anniversary podcast from 2025. And we have tallied the downloads and the feedback from you guys. And we are counting down our top 10 episodes of 2025. And they're good ones. But before we dive into number 10, I want to take a moment to thank the folks at Visit Simi Valley.
If you're listening right now to the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast, we know something about you.
We know that you're obsessed with Little House on the Prairie.
For more than half a century, Little House on the Prairie, the series and the books have been bright lights for people all over the world who seek out goodness, decency, and human connection.
Here on the Little House 50th Anniversary podcast, we celebrate everything that made Little House so special.
The stories, the characters, the actors, and the messages that have made Little House iconic family television.
And a perfect counterpoint to a world that feels like it's going off the rails every day.
Where is Michael Alden when we need him most? I'm your host, Pamela Bob.
And I'm your Prairie bitch, Allison Arngrim.
And I'm Dean Butler.
Our hashtag imaginary boyfriend. Join us for our loving, quirky, and often irreverent conversations about the finest family drama in the history of television.
And the imperfect people who made it that way.
Presented by our devoted patrons and visit simivalley.com.
All right, let's hitch up the wagons. Here we go. Let's start the countdown. At number 10, we have Alden's Dilemma with guest stars Stan Ivar and Pamela Roylance. Boy, oh boy, do I love those guys. That's right, we kicked off the year with the other Ma and Pa.
Tell us just briefly about why Little House was one of your dream jobs.
Probably because I grew up reading the books when I was in the 4th grade. And I read every single one of the books. And it's a lot of words, as you know, and detail. And I loved everything about And so eating everything
Yeah,
about
when Farmer
taste
Boy.
and the
Yeah, it's great.
food and fixated on that. But I did love the books. And
Yeah.
so when I came here, I just thought I fit the Prairie
Yeah.
mode. I fit Waltons. I fit Walt Disney. I fit Little House. I fit that kind of mode. So
Yeah.
that was where I had it in my mind, was for that.
Stan, I'm curious what, what was your path? Because I've known Pam's story about how she got there. What was your path to Little House? How did it happen?
I love the Western genre. And obviously I had seen Michael on Bonanza and so on, but obviously I was raised for a period of time in Norway. And we had a horse there with, we did all our plowing and everything on the farm there in Norway. So I always loved horses. And obviously when it came to Western, I already knew how to drive a team. I knew how to ride. And actually up Tapo Canyon there's a ranch way at the end, those mountains. I had team roped and gathered cattle and everything long before I even knew that Little House was filmed further on down the road. I didn't even know that. I remember when I got the first call there the first day, and I looked at the call sheet and I said, oh my God, it's up Tapo Canyon. That's exactly so I knew exactly where I was going, but that was the thing that drew me to Little House. I love that time period. I feel comfortable in it. I felt comfortable in it, still do.
Yeah.
That's why I moved up here to the mountains. I had horses all my life up here and team roped and even produced the pro celebrity rodeos for 5 years down there at the Equestrian Center in LA with 4 other actors.
Nice.
And everything. So that was the draw for me, that I was comfortable in that genre.
All right, here we go. Number 9 is Here Come the Brides. That's right, a classic Nellie episode. That's right, with Nellie and Luke, the big farmer. Allison and Dean and I had such a blast breaking down the fashion, the elopement drama, and of course, Harriet Olsen's legendary reactions.
Okay, and the first rebellion is after dinner when, of course, Mrs. Olsen freaks out and says, the clodhopper, she calls it.
She calls him all kinds of things.
Sure does.
And there's a Catherine moment again, and it's Nellie's first rebellion. Up until then is a whole lot of yes, mother, and it's the first time when she says you can't, and I suddenly talk back to her. Remember in the 1800s, you didn't
and amazing
back to your parents. They said do this, you said yes, ma'am. I went why? In the whiniest teenage voice ever recorded in history. Why? And she flips out. And then, I've talked about this before. Okay, things Catherine did acting-wise you're not supposed to do. Directing the other actors, changing the lines randomly as you see fit, suddenly deciding you need a prop and eating an apple in people's face. She did. One of the things she did that they would tell you in any acting class, never do this, would be to say the actor's line back to them and imitate them. That would be unspeakable anymore.
But it's so great the way she does it.
I know, and it's so her character to do that.
I go, why? She goes, why?
Oh my God, it's so freaking funny.
Great.
And it's
so funny.
And it's brilliant, and it's what Mrs. Olsen would do, and it also she knew it would keep it going. We want to make the other person mad, so that it's a knockdown drag out, and of course she would do that, so it made sense. But normally you're taken out and shot at sunrise for that sort of thing. It's just not, you don't do that to people.
And now at number 8, The Talking Machine. That's right, we recapped this episode that Allison calls the episode where even she hates herself. And it was such a fun trip back to the early days of Laura and Nellie's rivalry. You know, the OG rivalry. We talked about how Michael Landon used, quote, high-tech 19th century gadgets to create such amazing comedy.
So Laura has a fit, and then, when he still likes her, I've got to now ruin her life, as I am wont to do.
Yes, clearly.
Always with the gun.
It's the only way.
When Nellie offers you candy, it's like some guy in a white van offering you candy. Do not take. If Nellie says it's okay, you can have all the candy. Take a handful. It's something bad. Something bad is going to happen. Do not take it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, come up to the room, come to the room. Why? And so again, I mean, this at least was early in the show. Like, why does Laura keep trusting me? So like Lucy.
Yeah.
I get her up.
It's that blank spot in her consciousness that drives everything, basically.
And again, Nels is going, what? Nels, the only person
He's looking a little surprised.
What is going on?
Yeah.
He knows this is all wrong. And I get her up there, and clearly I'm being way too creepy and way too nice. And of course, the brilliant Jonathan Gilbert.
Evil.
Screen. So good. I think he's so good in this one. And we're on the band.
So did Victor, talk about a little bit about because I think this is sort of interesting.
Victor French.
How Victor's take to you about how to do this.
Victor's
I think this is sort of interesting.
Freaking brilliant. He was really good about how things should build and to like no more, no go all the way. And he knew how to get it. And his thing was, it didn't really matter how you got there or what the hell you were thinking about. You could be method. It didn't matter as long as you went somewhere with this thing. And so he's like, yeah, more. And then she leaves, and I'm doing the tantrum. And then I get up, and then the idea, the horrible, evil idea. And I was kind of even thinking a little bit how the Grinch stole Christmas when the Grinch says, and then the Grinch got an idea, a wonderful, terrible, evil idea. And I remember that moment when the Grinch smiled when he realized what he was going to do to his. It was kind of, I was feeling that. I was kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of there with that. And I had the thing, and I start to get the idea of, yes, I will do this thing. I will record her and ruin her life. Mm-hmm. And Victor's going, more, no, okay, keep it rolling. No, worse. No more evil, no more terrible. And then I had been reading these horror comics that week on the set, and with werewolves and zombies and things. They're very, very gory and fabulous. I was 13. And just as I'm kind of really getting into that good, like, almost the Grinch time of evil. And then Victor said, think of your werewolf comic books. And then you just see this fabulous, beautiful smile just overtake me. Oh my God. And he's like, yes, that's it. So yes, he was willing to just egg me on and go, keep going, keep it coming. No, keep going in this direction. Go all the rest of the way.
Hi again. We're at number 7. What could it be? That's right. Back to School Parts 1 and 2. Recaps. I mean, maybe that's considered number 7 and 6, but we're just going to compile them together. Number 7. You guys loved this deep dive, and so did I, because I love these episodes. We looked at the foundation of the show, the schoolhouse, and why these episodes about growing up still resonate with every generation.
Back to School, Parts 1 and 2, my debut episodes of Little House, September 17th, 1979, written and directed by Michael Landon. As I was looking at this, I asked ChatGPT to give us a synopsis of what this episode was about. Yeah, just for see. Allison, what did it say?
Okay, first of all, never try to say ChatGPT in French.
Oh.
Long story. Oh dear. Okay. And I despise AI, but this is a really good description. So indeed, Back to School episodes, Little House Story. It's a 2-part story from season 6, episodes 1 and 2, that mark a major turning point, especially for Laura Ingalls. The 2-parter showcases Laura's transition from childhood to adolescence, her growing independence, her determination to win Almanzo's affection. It also reflects the classic themes of Little House on the Prairie: family, community, perseverance, even as it adds a lighthearted and romantic element to the series.
It really did.
These episodes, it did.
Yeah.
These episodes are notable for setting the stage for Laura and Almanzo's eventual romance, one of the most beloved arcs in the show's later seasons. They balance humor and heart, making them fan favorites for Little House legacy.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
Yeah, I mean, fan favorites. Yeah, thank you, ChatGPT. How do you say that in French, by the way?
Well,
never mind.
I'm not. It becomes really bad when you say it in French. And on the news, where they've had...
Oh, okay. Well, let's not do that then. It's too early.
It's a problem for the newscasters.
So, yeah, I mean, I like the fan favorites thing. I think it should be higher than number 50, but that's just me. But I'm grateful that it's season 2, show 1. So I'll take that.
Also, there were so many iconic moments. Like rewatching it,
Mud fight.
The birth of Zeldamo, cinnamon chicken. Like, it's all in this episode. I'm a woman and I hate all of you. It's all here.
I'm a woman, I hate all of you.
Okay, guys. Cool it down over here because number 6, we've got bow chicka bow bow, the Handyman recap. That's right, the infamous Handyman recap. Okay, the episode that launched 1,000 poor ma comments or launched 1,000 go for it moments. We discussed the chemistry, the stolen glances, the rare moment where Ma Ingalls actually had a bit of, little sexy flirtation, mind you.
Enter a whistling Chris Nelson. The handyman, played by a young and chisel-jawed Gil Gerard with 70s swagger and two-belt bravado. Yes, very much so. Caroline hires him for his carpentry skills. But
does she now?
The way he swings that hammer has Harriet Olsen practically combusting with scandal.
Who wrote this synopsis?
Harriet's jealous. Seriously, this happens.
It was a team effort.
Hammer swings. Chris gives Caroline long, meanwhile glances and enjoys her fresh-baked pies. Seriously.
And that's a metaphor, if I've ever heard one.
Okay, euphemism. Meanwhile, her internal monologue is practically a Victorian romance novel. Must remain emotionally faithful to Charles. But have you seen that man fix a roof in the sunlight? Will Mary be able to save the family from smoldering infidelity? In the end, the kitchen is completed. Chris Nelson rides off to the sunset, and the Ingalls marriage survives its first and, well, only near thirst trap. Mary is smart. Okay. Ma is very young. Mary is the smart one, and Mrs. Olsen and I are so vile that we should just be shot. And there you are.
You guys are particularly
really bad.
You guys are bad.
Yeah.
Okay, where do we even... Well, here's where we start. First of all, amazing synopsis. I don't know if AI did that, but if it did, I'm here for it.
It was a combination.
He wrote it and I threw in commentary. That's what he
Thank you, robots, for that synopsis.
Yeah, okay. Exactly.
Because it was brilliant. All right, we're headed to the top 5 episodes, best episodes of 2025. Here we go. These were episodes that sparked the most conversation in our Patreon community. Now, our Patreon community is so important to us. If you're not on Patreon, why the heck not? We have so much fun on Patreon. Anyway, here we go. Number 5. The Cheaters recap with Patrick Labyorteaux. That's right, having Patrick back on the podcast. Let me tell you about Patrick. Patrick is the nicest. He is the coolest. He has anecdotes upon stories upon amazingness. If you follow him and his social media and his podcast, you'll know that he's just a plethora of stories. And so having him on the show and having him back on the show is always just like a total highlight of the year. And so hearing him talk about this episode, The Cheaters, hearing him talk about Andy Garvey's, moral struggle, and also his real-life memories of Michael Landon's mentorship was just chef's kiss beautiful. Patrick, how do you feel about this episode before I rip into it? Because I'm about to rip into it.
I think of it, and I think of that deers must have a phrase of like, oh, he was full Andy with Nellie when deers get afraid, because I just look terrified. It's not, deer in the headlights. It's Andy in front of Nellie. I think the idea of placing, it reminded me a lot of your performance, Allison, reminded me a lot of Ian McDermott in the Star Wars movies as the Emperor. I just expected you at one point to just, yell at Andy, do it, and, turn me to the dark side.
And have the death grip.
Yeah, I have.
It was like that.
Okay, so the answer to your question is, this to me was, I categorized a couple of different types of episodes, since I was able to do a bunch of these episodes. This was a working episode in my head. Like, okay, so I had to do really good. There was lots of stuff. There was lots of scenes.
I mean, it's all you, yeah.
kind of is.
You're the
I was
star.
surprised when I rewatched it because, you know, you remember things in one way and then you watch the episode. I'm sure I hear you guys talking all the time. Part of my memory of Little House is my experience shooting it as opposed to when people watch the show. Makes sense.
Yeah,
Their
sure.
experience is the show, the story. And so I don't really remember the story so much as the experience.
Right.
And the experience I had was with Allison, who was always a blast to work with. But I remember having to focus because Allison never seemed to have a problem with lines, never seemed to have a problem with any of the script. So she was always happy to like cut. And then this guy happened, and then she's just talking all the time. And so I had to concentrate a lot to make sure that all the stuff that I was doing kind of was what I wanted to do. And
then I'm in your face, like terrorizing you at the same time. So yeah, it's the shifting gears. It's
And now at number 4, we've got Wilder and Wilder with Charles Bloom himself. That's right, Pearly Day. Listen, I don't know about you, but Wilder and Wilder is like an epic episode. 2 brothers? 2 Wilder brothers? Come on now. Doesn't get better than that. So, and Charles Bloom, who we met for the first time, him coming onto this podcast, we just absolutely fell in love with this guy. He brought so much joy to our conversation, to this episode. We talked about Pearly Day Wilder and the Black Sheep brother and the incredible energy that Charles brought to the set as a young actor. The boundaries.
Thinks Pearly Day's a catch because he doesn't know anything about him. And I'm watching it going, he's a thief and a liar. And what does he not? You were almost in my, neck of the woods, role-wise. You were almost in villain territory with me. You were kind of terrible in this. How did you feel about that? You're kind of like a giant jerk in this episode.
Well, well, of course, my first impression when I saw the name was Pearly Day was really something along the line of fashion designer or something.
Yes, yes.
For the
flamboyant.
Yes, then I read the script and saw things are getting darker in a hurry. He's a thief, and he's a horse injurer, and I guess I was to be the devil to Almanzo's angel. I get. That's how the contrast began. So
Can I ask?
it was right up front. It was right up front. Very
Can I
clear.
ask before we get into more of your experience on set? But do you remember your audition?
Oh yeah.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do. For someone who hasn't remembered anything at all, I plug into this. It was the only audition for which I did not have to. That I was given an offer because, Dean, I was originally coming in to read for Almanzo.
Seriously?
In the original. With the original time I came in. But,
Whoa.
well, and of course I asked for the big trailer and I became impossible. So that's, no, it was that. And they told me that I was a little young. Something I don't hear quite as much anymore. And
None of us do.
But they wanted me to come back to read for the younger brother. And I kind of rolled my eyes and I was polite and said, oh, yeah, that really happens. We're going to call you back and all that. And the truth is they did. And it was the only time that a producer kept a promise on that score. So that I do remember that one of my several memories of it. That was the audition.
Wow.
Well, Susan Sukman, who was our casting director, who you undoubtedly met with, was a great giver of meeting. When you were in the office with Susan, she was gracious, welcoming. I think she made actors feel terrific about being in the room with her. She really had a nice quality in bringing out the best in people who were reading for her. And obviously, with all of your wit that has become incredibly clear in the years since all of that, but you had all of that going, and you were able to bring this sort of I don't know, snake in the grass kind of quality to this. Really, I mean, you did. Watching the episode again, I watched it twice yesterday. I just thought you were terrific in the episode, and what was so important about this is this episode. There needed to be a turning point for Pa to see Almanzo as someone who could be right for his daughter. He'd objected on the terms of age and all of that. And he thought, well, maybe you could be the fix. But when you revealed yourself and Almanzo really continued being who he was, suddenly Pa was able to see Almanzo in a different light. The episode was very important from that perspective.
You look better by comparison.
All right, guys, 3 left. Here we go. Number 3, drum roll, please. The Wisdom of Solomon with Todd Bridges. You guys know this is a classic, epic, viral episode. You know, there are people that are the one episode people that go into the vortex, but I feel like Todd Bridges evaded the vortex somehow, because this episode is so beloved, is so important, it's so critically important even today. And, you know, he was just at Simi Valley at the cast reunion. He is a beloved member of the Little House family, rightfully so. So this episode is truly profound, as you guys all know. And Todd was so generous in sharing his experience playing Solomon and discussing the show's rare but powerful handling of race and history. So enjoy this clip where we discuss his time working on Little House. How old were you when you did this episode?
What was 19? You said 1977?
Yeah.
I think I was 12, maybe 11, maybe 9. I don't remember. Geez, that's a long time ago. I would have to calculate it now. My brain's not going to work that way.
So I'm curious, Todd, how you go about preparing for something like this, because this is what we're talking about in the episode. We're talking about emancipation, slavery, and the coming of rights, the deprivation of rights for African Americans at that point. You know, we were talking before we came on that, you know, there was a lot of television. You know, Good Times was on, and, you know, the Red Fox show, Sanford and Son was on, and there was a different approach to how all these issues were being talked about, but it was done in a sort of, you know, the humor. The humor was the way of hiding all the pain. This put the pain frame one right in your face. And it was right in your face.
Oh yeah, it was definitely right in your face for sure.
So how do you, what's the process for you, or what are you just allowing
that show? For me, I think I was a dramatic actor by nature, so that came pretty easy to me. I think my favorite line in the show was when I said, "Answer me something, sir." I said, "Would you like to be black and live to be 100, or white and live to be 50?" And that music they put in, dun, dun, and Mike was like, "Nope, I don't want to be black." I'm sure he was thinking that in his head.
What did we say right before it came over talking about? Then she said, "David Rose." We said David Rose is the devil. David Rose, that music made you cry. Put that music, and you're just like, "I can't stand it. I can't stand it." And you even
cards.
Oh yeah.
The title card when the episode when that comes up, and that piano, that sad haunting piano.
Oh yeah.
Music comes.
He had the best music written for that show for sure.
My God.
Sure.
But then your beautiful angelic face with those beautiful sparkling eyes, you just just captivated all of us, and there's not a false, phony moment in the entire performance.
No, it wasn't.
You're so good.
It starts from the first second. I mean, that was the thing that got me. I thought, okay, I forgot this. I watched it last night. The second you appear on screen and the first words out of your mouth, you're like, "Oh no, this poor child, ow!" And it's like extremely extraordinarily painful.
Oh, yeah.
And then it doesn't stop. How
No,
the
it goes
heck-
for the jugular and
How
keeps
did you
going.
keep that up? How did you keep that up?
Like I said,
aware.
I was fully aware because my mom had taught me how to be an actor, and everything I had done up to that point was all dramatic. I had done no comedy shows before that. Everything was dramatic. I think my first comedy show after that was Fish. I was on Fish for 3 seasons, and then and the only reason why that got canceled because back then A for Goda wanted more money, and they didn't give you more money back then. They just canceled the show.
Wow.
But lucky that happened because
so terrific.
I ended up going in and meeting with Robert Brogliotti for Different Strokes. And what was weird was I was telling somebody this the other night. I had actually had 3 shows. It was weird. I had got Different Strokes. I had got the Mickey Mouse Club, and I had got what was the other one? Oh, it wasn't called Mork and Mindy. It was called Mork from Ork. And yeah, that was the original name and title of the show. And Mork lived in the attic of this black kid who lived with his grandmother.
What?
So luckily, I made the right choice because those shows, Mork and Mindy, Mork from Ork changed to Mork and Mindy, and where are the Little House people? You know what I mean? I mean, not Little House people. Where are the Mickey Mouse Club?
Right,
where are they?
right.
So so I made a great choice. That was a great choice. Yeah, that was a great score.
All right. Don't get stressed out. Here we go. It's number 2. What could it be? Christmas at Plum Creek. That's right. We just recently did this episode, and we recorded this right as we were getting ready for the Simi Valley reunion that just happened in December, and it really did put us in the perfect holiday spirit. It's the ultimate episode about sacrifice and the true meaning of Christmas, and also trying to understand what the heck Carrie was saying.
And I think something that's lovely in this episode, given that it aired on Christmas Day, is right up front with Carrie. Pa sets up the whole religiosity of Christmas, and
it's definitely the Charlie Brown moment.
No, it's lovely. It's a lovely moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is absolutely lovely.
Mary gets a job with the famous Mrs. Whipple.
Yes.
Is this the first time we also see Mrs. Whipple that we're introduced
Absolutely,
to her?
I think it is. I do not think because Mrs. Whipple is sort of in the books. Is she named Mrs. Whipple in the books? But there's a lady who's a seamstress in the books, and I don't think we've seen her until now.
No, Mrs. Whipple is also awesome, and I would want to be her employee if I was living in Walnut Grove, because she's got donuts and milk waiting every single time.
Right. Exactly.
Awesome.
So she has plenty of energy. Right, exactly.
She made homemade donuts. Oh my God. Because I don't think there was a Dunkin' D over in Walnut Grove getting the donuts ready in the morning. So, yeah, she's awesome.
And played by Queenie Smith. Do you know there's an actress named Queenie Smith?
She's so lovely. Miss Whipple is great.
Yeah, she's great. She
later became a talent agent. She was in W.C. Fields movies.
Jeez, Louise, was she really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Most of the episode, I think we can sort of shortcut our way through this.
Yes.
Most of the episode is everybody's anxieties about what they're going to get.
That's right.
And the secrets that they tell to get. And this is one of the rare moments where they're in the series where there really are secrets,
right,
where the audience doesn't really know what's going on. It plays out very effectively, but normally in the world of Little House, the audience knows everything. In this case, there is withholding going on, and it's very effective, as we will discuss in a few moments.
All right, guys, here we go. This is it. So exciting. Our number 1 most loved episode of 2025 is live from New York City. Your questions, part 1. That's right. For those of you who have not seen the live podcast, we have not put it up on Patreon yet. It's coming. I promise any second. But we had the most epic Q&A session in New York City at the Green Room 42 when we did our live podcast there. And it was just pure magic being at Green Room 42 in New York City with Allison and Dean and all of you guys in the audience. There really are no words how truly, truly wonderful it was. I mean, Bonnetheads show up, man. They show up with the most positive energy on the planet. And I was so grateful that I could make you guys laugh because that was my goal. So the energy was totally electric and the questions were hilarious. And it really did remind us of why this community is so special. So as a special little treat here, please enjoy this clip where we reminisce on that amazing live show.
You know, what's one of the cool things about that space, and I have not spent a lot of time in Times Square. It just didn't work out that way when I was there. But sort of a fascinating phenomenon is you can be in Times Square and do absolutely anything. And other than Minnie Mouse, nobody cares.
But that's all of New York. That is all of, because believe me, I've been there, done it, and no one cares. I mean, it's quote unquote normal. It's just, you know, it's a city full of eclectics and artists and people doing stuff.
We were doing crazy stuff all over town. But remember, there were people walking by, and there was that woman walking by. We weren't sure if she was crying or laughing.
Oh, she was crying.
Was having, like, massively intense moment as well, and everyone was just like, "Hi, how you doing?"
That's the thing about New York. You could be crying hysterically walking down the street, and no one
nobody cares.
You. No one cares, which is both a pro and a con. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you're free.
So much
you
fun.
are absolutely free to be whatever you are, in whatever state of being you are. You can be that in that city.
Yes.
That is a pretty remarkable thing. That is not the case in a lot of places. That's
why New York is great. You can have your moment anywhere you want, anyway.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, okay, whatever, man.
Yeah. It's just another Tuesday. I know, but I will say, we see you, but we're not going to bother you. Like, she's crying, and we all cry. Yeah. Who cares?
In many cases, they see you and they're just taking a quick route around you. You know, like no one wants to interfere. They don't want to. They just keep. Everyone's living their life, and it's just they're doing what they need to do in that moment.
But I will say, part of what. Also, I mean, yes, the show is, I think, incredibly successful, and we had so much fun doing it. And I think we all had, you know, the day before we sort of had a little mini run through. And I think we were done with the run through, and we sort of all looked at each other and went, I think this is going to be really good. Like, ooh, we got something here. But the best part about the week was being with you guys, just together, finally in the same place, and spending days and days and days together and loving every moment of it.
It was fun. You know, I agree with you on the run through. And when it was finished, I just have such, you know, and everybody pretend like we're just talking to ourselves here. I have such confidence in the two of you that things are always going to work. This is one way or another, whether it's, you know, whether it goes sideways, up, down, left, right, doesn't matter. It's going to work out in the end, because we're all just going to hang with each other.
Yeah.
We just keep stepping forward. And I think that's really the deal.
Well, I think when we had the little musical rehearsal in Charles Bloom's small apartment with his giant dog, his giant puppy,
Parker, the beautiful dog Parker. Oh my God!
Oh, it's a golden retriever. I'm like, cross with what? A rhino? What?
Yes.
Dog was so cute. He was like a Siberian tiger. This giant head and his big paws, and then he's like,
sweet.
And he thinks he's a lap dog. He thinks he's a lap dog, and all of us, he's like, I love you, I love you, I love you. Can I sit on you?
Tongue as big as your face.
The
yes,
biggest dog in the world going, I love you. It was like hysterical. But when we did that music run through, and he sang that song, Pearly Day, and then we sang. I went,
oh my God!
Oh boy, we've opened Pandora's box, baby. This is going to be a whole other thing now.
Yes.
Yikes.
Yes.
Yeah, no, really good.
Now, all right, it wouldn't be our podcast if things didn't go off the rails occasionally, and most of the time we hide you guys from all of that stuff, but this year gave us some world-class bloopers. So here's a little look back at the chaos and funny moments. Woo, you guys, this is gonna be a doozy. I don't know.
You know, walking down Fifth Avenue and from across the street, hey, Lou Holmes! You know, you hear that.
Yeah. But
What is he going to sell them Bitcoin next? What? Is it going to be an Amway pitch? He's telling them they're not making enough money and harassing them about their until they go. Well, I guess we're going to do this thing.
Spooky guy at the end.
Dude. No,
He's
the
the
fourth
creepy
guy at
horse
the end.
dude?
Yeah. That's Kit.
It's
high
written-
comedy.
It's just, the rum. I prefer without. I love the rum baba without the baba. Yeah.
Okay. Well, first let me just say that from the studios. Let's get this right. Dear God, I'm so excited about the book. I can't even think straight.
I know.
So
If Little House in the Prairie was the Muppets,
you were Miss
I would be Miss Piggy.
1000%.
Everybody knows I am Miss Piggy. Moi? Yes, it's true.
Well, Miss Piggy-
I never thought I'd be blushing on a podcast, but I'm right now.
Well, leave it to us. We got to talk about the hotties on the prairie. Come on.
Then I read the script and saw things are getting darker in a hurry. He's a thief, and he's a horse injurer. And I guess I was to be the devil to Almanzo's angel.
In my favorite line in the entire show, in the entire 9 years, when Baby Carrot gets a star and says, "Happy birthday, baby Jesus!"
Doing the most insane cartoon. They're after my Lucky Charms accent. And they're doing,
and the whole thing is in falsetto. She speaks in falsetto the entire time.
Moses' beard and all the prophets. What? But it's a to be doing. I just want to say that my family.
She's flirtatious and coquettish.
Yes. Okay, one of the most amazing moments of this year. I mean, truly a highlight. Happened this past November at Little House 50th Anniversary Podcast Live from New York event. Our friend Charles Bloom, who played Pearly Day Wilder, wrote, who's a prophetic composer and lyricist. He wrote this amazing song specifically for our live show, and he performed it live, and he blew everyone away with his lyrics and his talent. And so we wanted to share a piece of that magic with you all right here, right now. Ladies and gentlemen, from our live podcast in New York City, here is Charles Bloom, a.k.a. Pearly Day Wilder.
I find that since moving to New York, it was always important to travel with an accompanist, which made things kind of inconvenient in intimate restaurants and delicatessens and all that. But he won't play an upright. So what am I going to do? Whatever do we have here? Now, do all of you, is this like a halfway, one and done, or would you actually like the Pearly Day experience? Put it on! Put it on!
Put it on!
Put it on! Put it on! Oh, look at you!
And now, with apologies to Cole Porter. Like the warming side of a sunrise, he arrived with a friendly glow. As he walked on by with that flirty eye, he's the guy girls want to know. Every smile will give you an inkling that your heart is lost at sea. All the while he'll have you, he's thinking, me, me, me. Pearly Day, terrible chap. He's a charming kid with mischief hid under his cap. With an ego off the charts, or while rigging covered wagon parts. He's all about Pearly Day. Will he stay or hit the road? Who can say, since he appeared in just one FSL. He's as creepy as can be. He's the black sheep blonde tormenting the family. He's cray-cray in every way. People say the thought of him brings a chill. He'd be served a delicious meal, then steal right from the till. So he left town in disgrace, but not before Almanzo punched out his face. Surly boy, that pearly day.
Charles Bloom, everybody! And Richard Danley! All right, everybody. Listen, before we officially ring in the new year, I mean, it is the new year today, but let's officially ring it in, right? I have to take a moment right now to thank the incredible team that makes this show possible. It truly takes a village, or a township, whichever, but we are just surrounded by the most awesome people who also celebrate the joy, the spirit, the love of this endeavor and of the podcast and of our community. So to Dean Butler and Allison Arngra, my partners in crime, a massive special thank you to my wonderful co-hosts. Thank you for the time and the heart and the effort that you pour into this podcast every single week, and for being so generous in sharing your precious memories with all of us, and for sharing them with me in particular, and for entrusting me to be your host. And also thank you to the audience for entrusting me to be your host. It means more than you'll ever know. So to our production team, thank you, Tony Sweet and UBN Go. You're the wizard behind the curtain who helps us produce the final product you see and hear every week. We could not do it without you, Tony. We love you, Tony. Thank you, Tony. To our amazing marketing and digital team, huge shout out to Packlantic. Girl, if you need some social media and marketing help, call them, guys. Specifically, Christine and Joy. You guys, we talk about Christine and Joy all the time in the podcast. That's because they are doing everything behind the scenes as well. So thank you for keeping our socials running and managing our Patreon and handling the mountain of behind the scenes work and content creation that keeps us connected to the fans. This is all you. You guys. We so appreciate you. And to our guests, our amazing guests who graced the podcast this year, thank you for taking the time to sit with us and to share your unique experiences. You made this 51st year, truly unforgettable. Ooh, do you think we're gonna have to change the title of our show? Because we're going into the 50s now. Who would have thunk? Crazy. Finally, to our partners, a big thank you to Trip and Rebecca Friendly and Friendly Productions, that's right, for working alongside us to provide such fun merch for you guys and your wonderful collaboration with the Little House family. And finally, to our patrons and our listeners, you are the reason why we hitch up the wagon every week. Your support is truly the heartbeat of the show. We could not do this without you. One of the best things about 2025 in doing these live events and going to the live reunion in person for me is that I got to meet so many of you. I talk into a mic and I'm in an empty room, and I never know what impact this may or may not have on anybody. And then I meet you in person, and the love that I have received just on a personal level is so special, and it's so meaningful. And I love that you guys listen and love the podcast. I love that you allow us to laugh about the show, this show that we love and revere. But there is humor there as well. So let's laugh about it all together. Can we hear it for French tips on the Prairie? Come on now. And I just appreciate you so much. We all appreciate you so much. Loved meeting you guys in person. Loved it. Let's keep that going. So we are heading into 2026. I cannot believe it. We'll have been doing this podcast for 2 years. Insane. But we're heading into 2026 with so much excitement. You're the horse, baby. You're the horse. Movement, all forward motion. So we're going to have new guests, new surprises, and more of the Prairie mischief that you guys love. Let's carry the spirit of the Ingalls family with us into the new year. Be kind, work hard, and always keep a little lemon verbena in your pocket. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you back on the prairie. Mwah.